Hey guys, Hello Bella here. In this video, I'm going to be talking about merchant fulfilling on Amazon FBA, and more specifically about merchant fulfilling during the holiday season. We are in the middle of September now, and we're approaching the height of the holiday shopping season. Stores are starting to put all of the holiday stuff out. We've got Thanksgiving, Christmas, of course, Halloween's coming up. I'm going to be talking about how you can prep for Q4 to merchant fulfill, and how I feel like merchant fulfilling is a great way to go this year in addition to FBA, because we're seeing major delays. So stick around in this video if you want to find out what I'm doing to prep for Q4. The first thing that you need to know is that you need to merchant fulfill a certain amount of orders between August 15th and October 14th. You need to MF 25 orders in order to sell toys. This doesn't apply to anything else, so you don't have to do it to sell any other category that you're ungated in, but to sell toys for Q4, you do need to meet this requirement. So you can do this pretty quickly with some fast moving books. One of the great things about this rule is that it doesn't have to be toys. Selling 25 toys would be a little bit bigger headache, but just do it with some fast moving books. If you're late to the deadline, if you've only got 2 or 3 days, you can just go to the thrift store and buy any books and just take a loss on them, or just ship them at cost for about 50 cents a piece profit. I would recommend it because toys are going to be a huge seller every year. Of course, toys sell out in certain stores around the country, and the only place to get them is on Amazon. So I think it's a great thing to do if you can go ahead and prepare for that now. One of the reasons that I'm merchant fulfilling this year is because of the lead time, and that basically means the time that I get the product to the warehouse and it gets checked in and is available for purchase. I'm seeing major delays right now. I typically will ship to the Memphis, Tennessee location, and my packages get there via UPS in 1 to 2 days because I'm only 2 hours away from it, and I'm seeing them sit there for anywhere between 2 weeks to 30 days. I've got a shipment that I shipped in I believe it was the 13th of August, and it's now the 15th of September, and it still hasn't gotten checked in. It actually got checked in, but it went to FC Transfer, which is Fulfillment Center Transfer, so it's being moved all over to different warehouses, and those products are not technically available yet. They are available for sale, but I looked on the product page, and it says to the customer, it's telling them that the earliest available shipping date is going to be in October. So that's another reason why I think it's really a good idea to be merchant fulfilling this year. It's just gotten to the point where Amazon is so backed up that we don't really know how they're going to handle the holiday season. Obviously, they're probably going to do their best to get as much out as possible, but I'm expecting major delays. It's not a good sign that they're already doing this in September, especially if you've ever been like me and you found something really cool during the holiday season and you try to get it to the warehouse in November. It's like a nightmare. It probably won't get checked in time for Christmas to arrive to the customer. So that's why I want to talk about merchant fulfilling. Now, merchant fulfilling has its own headaches. It's definitely one of those things where it's like, oh my gosh, I have to store all of this product in my house. I have to package it, ship it, and deal with the customer inquiries that are going to come in. For sure, that is definitely a drawback, but at the same time, the major benefit that I see is that you can purchase an item, list the item, ship the item, and all in the same day. Like literally, I have gotten things merchant fulfilled and listed them when I got out to the car from the store, and by the time I drive home, they've already sold, and I can just package them up and ship them to the customer. So basically, I'm just a personal shopper for these people. But the profit on merchant fulfilling is actually really good if you consider the fact that you can get bulk shipping supplies really cheap, and you can ship things first class, you can ship things priority mail. I love these flat rate envelopes. You can get the bubble mailers, and there's also the ones that don't have the padding. I believe these are like $7.75 to ship, and they will fit some really big stuff. I have the clear poly bags, and you can put clothing in the poly bags and kind of like compress it, and they can fit in here really easily. I would really caution you to order your supplies now for shipping supplies, because you don't want to be running out of boxes and tape during Q4. It's just too difficult to worry about getting boxes of something, especially if you run across a toy or something and you get 30 units of it. You have to have 30 boxes to merchant fulfill and ship all those orders. So it's just really a good idea now to start storing things and putting supplies back. Personally, I'm buying a ton of tape, bubble mailers, packaging, void fill, all of those types of things, labels. I use this one of my labels to print my notes for this video. So I buy these on a roll of, I believe it's about 100, and I buy them in bulk from eBay. I buy a lot of shipping supplies on eBay. I feel like it's one of the cheapest ways to go. And yeah, so I would caution you to go ahead and get your shipping supplies now. Whatever you think that you need, probably double that amount or triple that amount, because it's crazy. If you haven't experienced the Q4 on Amazon, let's put it this way, the slice of the pie is as big as you make it. If you have money to compete and purchase products during Q4, you're going to make money, like you're going to sell. The more money that you can afford to put into it, the more money that you're probably going to make. Like if you only have $500, obviously you're not going to be able to make that much money. But if you can sink in $5,000 during Q4, you're going to see a good ROI. I think that a lot of people don't realize how much money it takes to make money on Amazon, and all of the guru videos that you see are telling you how easy it's going to be and how you don't need much startup capital. But if you are in the business of doing retail arbitrage, a lot of your capital gets tied up in inventory. And like I said, I've got probably over 20 boxes right now that I've shipped off that was all retail arbitrage that has not gotten checked in, and it's thousands of dollars worth of product that's just sitting in limbo somewhere, and that money's gone. So you kind of have to wrestle with that. And I'm not able to purchase new products either with that money because it's tied up in inventory. So I know I will make a profit on those items later, but it's really, you have to find the balance in your business of where you're like, okay, this is how much I can afford to sink into this. So if you have a good mix of FBA and FBM, you can sort of get your money back a little faster with FBM. I think where FBM is really going to come in is during the close call, when it gets to like the second week of December and there's not enough time to get products to the warehouse and people are scrambling to purchase the toys that their kid wants, or something special that they want. And that's when the FBM sellers come in, because you're able to go out that day and get the product and ship it to the customer as quickly as possible. And that really, there is so much money out there on being spent on Amazon. I want to touch on something that maybe is controversial, maybe is not, but I don't want to be the lowest price on an item, and I hate when people take the price on an item. And I know that like people get upset about this, but like resellers are, I don't know, almost desperate whenever they list something if they price it the lowest price, because if an item is selling 200 units a month and you only have one of that item and there are 10 other sellers on the listing and they only have one of that item, I don't understand why you would price the lowest. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So I'm just going to tell you, like, that's a terrible strategy. It's a bad pricing strategy, especially if you're doing fulfilled by Amazon and you price it lowest and your item is just not even there yet. You want to give time for the other sellers to sell out. I'm usually priced somewhere in the middle. The only time I would price it the lowest is if I have something that I want to move really quickly and I'm okay with the profit that I'm making on it. For instance, if I'm paying $5 for it and I'm making $10 off of it, I don't want to get greedy. I just want to sell the product and move on. However, if I have more money invested in something, why would you not wait to get the most amount of money that you can out of that particular item? That's just my 2 cents. And I feel like, personally, in the beginning when I was a new reseller, I would get nervous about the money that I had invested in something and I wasn't confident in what I was purchasing. But the more that you do it, the more confident you'll be in your purchasing decisions, because at the end of the day, it's really not a guessing game, because you have all the data to back up the purchases that you make. Now, sometimes you're going to buy duds, but at the same time, everybody buys duds. Like the wins far outweigh the losses in the Amazon game. The pricing strategy is really important during the holiday season, because we're going to see an influx of customers coming to Amazon to purchase gifts. So definitely don't be the lowest price person. It's just I don't really recommend it, because the amount of money that you can make if you just wait it out is a lot more. You can make, what if I told you can make 30% more just by waiting 2 days? Why would you not do that? Unless you need your capital immediately and you're about to get a payout, don't do that. Okay, end rant. I know I'm usually preaching the gospel of FBA to people, because you can sell things for a lot more expensive, especially when it comes to books and things like that. But when it comes to merchant fulfilling right now, the main thing that I'm seeing is that being able to have a shorter time to get the item to the customer is getting me sales. There's a particular item right now that I am merchant fulfilling, and I get it for, I think, $5.50, and I make about $7.50 profit on it. And so that's 130% ROI, 135% ROI. And the profit on it is really good, and I'm not the lowest price. I'm like in the middle, and I'm still making sales every day because I can get it to the customer faster. I actually sold out of all the units I have, and I'm going to Walmart today to purchase more of them. And this is a replenishable thing. Like, it's not a difficult thing to get. It's something that Walmart stocks year round, and it's just happening to sell for a bit more on Amazon right now. So this is what I mean when I say that merchant fulfilling is gold right now, because there are so many things right now that people are freaking out and purchasing, especially due to the pandemic, and people are a little bit more like buying right now because they're stuck at home. So I think it's a really good time to just get into the merchant fulfilling game. Now, it does take a lot of energy to package everything. I typically recommend having a set time of day where you just package all your orders. For me, I like to do this first thing in the morning before I go out and buy new products. I like to get everything ready and shipped out to the customer. That way I don't have to deal with it, and then I'll do it again the next day. If you're not familiar with merchant fulfilling, go ahead and start doing some now so that you can kind of get into the groove of things. And like I said, you need to have those 25 units sold between now and October 14th. So that can be any type of unit, but you do have to do that in order to do toys during Q4. If you're not ungated in toys, don't even worry about it. If you want to get ungated, there's several ways to go about it. I should make a separate video for that probably. I'm actually going to be trying to get ungated in Legos this week, so I'll let you guys know how that goes. That's something that I've wanted to sell for a while, and I've just kind of beat around the bush about the ungating process, but I don't want to ramble. I've talked enough in this video, but I did want to share like kind of what I'm thinking about for Q4 and how I'm framing this for my business. I'm not a huge reseller. I think I've done around 55,000 this year so far on Amazon, and probably about 10K on eBay. So I'm not a huge seller, but I do this for a living. So I wanted to give my advice to you guys. Take everything with a grain of salt. That's what I always tell everybody. Like, everything that everyone says is not always true. Everything that we say is formed from the lens of our own vision and our own views in life. So yeah. Well, thanks so much for watching the video, guys. If you like the content and you want more information about selling on Amazon or making a living reselling, please subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next video.